Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Ebony. I am a human design and gene keys reader, expert, and coach, and today we are continuing our Creating Space series. So if you have not watched the first 4 videos, I will go ahead and link the playlist down below so that you can watch that because they're kind of important. So we talked about, in order to create space in your life, you have to first believe that there is space to be created, right? You have to determine what's currently occupying your space. You have to decide what it is that you actually want, and you have to understand and navigate your fears in a healthy way. Now, these next few videos, the last videos in the series, we're going to be getting into the specific areas that I think need to be addressed in order to create space in a healthy and sustainable way. And the first thing that needs to be addressed is your nervous system. There's a lot of talk in the spiritual space, especially when it comes to like manifestation, law of attraction, all of these things. And it's always trust and surrender, right? Trusting and surrendering is very difficult to do when your nervous system is in a state of panic, right? Or overwhelm or freeze, right? If you're in your fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to be able to surrender and trust, right? And most of us, especially most of us who, like, I'm making this series for the people who want more space in their life, most of us are living in a nervous system that is not regulated. We're in a very dysregulated state, whether that is our sympathetic system, whether that is overwhelm, or whether that is dorsal, right? So the first concrete thing that we want to do when we're looking to create space in our lives is to start creating space in our nervous systems. We need to start regulating ourselves. We need to start cultivating a feeling of safety in our bodies. And the reason why we want to work with the body first, well, I guess we're not, I don't necessarily think first might not be the best word, right? Because I think it was the 3rd video, we talked about manifestation and deciding what you want and embodying that state. I also think it's difficult to embody that state if we're in a dysregulated nervous system state, right? So I really think that video and this video can go hand in hand, right? Manifestation, embodying the state of the person you want to be, and regulating your nervous system, creating space in your nervous system, those really go hand in hand. So, just want to preface that. Now, the reason why this is important is because we experience 80% more affective data than we do effective data, right? Affective data comes from our bodies. It comes from our 5 senses, from the neurons that are in our skin, right, in different parts of our body. And that information travels up to our brains. That's affective data. And then effective data is data that comes from our brains and travels down to our body. So there's 80% more information coming from our body to our brain than there is from our brain to our body, which means what is happening in our body, what is happening in our nervous system on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis is affecting our mental state 80% more than the things that are happening in our brain, right? So it's not to say that our brain and our thoughts don't affect our body, because they do to a certain degree. It's just there's 80% more. Our body affects our brains 80% more than our brain affects our bodies. So if we want to create space in our lives, if we want to embody a specific state to manifest a specific desire, we want to make sure that we are paying attention to our nervous system, that we're paying attention to our physical body, because the things that are happening in us physically do have an effect on what's going on with us mentally, right? So if we're really going to make a change, if we're really going to create space in our lives, we first need to create space in our nervous system, right? In our physical body. So how do we do this? There are so many different ways that people have found to regulate our nervous systems, right? It's almost a buzzword at this point, right? Like nervous system regulation. Polyvagal theory is it's extremely interesting to study. So if you haven't, I highly recommend that you look it up because it's just fascinating. But there are a few different techniques that I personally enjoy and work and use with my clients. So I'm going to give you those now. Number one, breath work. Focusing on your breath, especially very deep belly breathing, that stimulates your vagus nerve and it brings you out of fight or flight and into rest and digest. So breath work is an amazing tool for nervous system regulation. Also, meditation is amazing. I personally like to do more active meditation. So like a walking meditation, even breath work can be considered more of an active meditation, but anything that gets you into your physical body, kind of gets you out of your mind and into your physical experience, is going to really help with regulating your nervous system. Things like EFT tapping is also a really great tool to use. There was another one. Cold showers. I'm going to be honest, I don't do this one. Nope. I used to. I used to religiously take cold showers, and it got to a point I didn't like it. I swore by it, and then I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. So I no longer do cold showers, but that does not mean that they were not helpful. They definitely were. I made a choice. I made a decision. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm very happy with my warm showers now, but that is an option as well. And there are so many other ways to regulate your nervous system, especially when it comes to your specific energy levels. I talked a little bit about that in my last free course, Aura Alignment. So if you're interested in that, I can go ahead and link that for you. But that is it for this video. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.